Hello, good morning and welcome to the Little Farmer's Farm with me, Guru Mafinda, aka Tony. I think it's time to get some planting done. 2nd of April today, 2021, and we're going to get some broad beans out and some onions. So let's get cracking on. Yesterday, if you caught it, we built that end bed specifically for the broad beans, and so that's what we're going to do first of all and get the broad beans in. I'll show you the broad beans that I've sprouted on. Okay, so there's around 20 Demonica broad beans. The last couple of nights I've been leaving the door open to the polytunnel, and so it's assisting the hardening off of them, so they're getting prepared now for going outside, and so that's what we're going to do right now. Okay, now what you find with the broad beans is they're quite susceptible to attack, especially from black fly. They're a bane in the side of the the broad beans of the black fly. So to try and deter them and literally throw them off the scent, I'm going to be planting in the alliums. I'm going to be planting the Stuttgarter onion, sort of surrounding the broad bean plants. And the hope for that is that the allium scent will deter the black fly. It's probably not going to work, but we're going to give it a whirl. It's companion planting. And try and get some marigolds as well inside there too, because marigolds throw those sorts of flies off the scent as well. They kind of deter green fly and black fly. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to get those in. I've got 20 plants there in 10 pots. So we'll get those in the centre first, and then I'll surround them, make a sort of onion fort around my little broad beans, my Demonicas. And that's this morning's little task. Just going to show you the roots. We get the roots on these bursting out of the bottom. Well, they're starting to, if you look there, you can see the roots. Some of them are much more along than others. I mean, they're seeking out the nutrition now, and we've added the nutrition into the soil in the form of the blood, fish and bone meal. So that's what they're going to be feasting on. They do tend to draw nitrogen from the atmosphere and fix them in nodes below the ground, root nodes. The pulses, beans and peas tend to do that, so they should be fine. We've got the onions there. You want to see the roots on these onions? Actually, you know, it's like Rapunzel's hair coming out. So I've got to be careful with those. Some people trim the roots, and I might do the same thing myself. Actually, certainly with leeks, it's good to sort of trim some of the roots when you're planting them out, and even give them a haircut. That's what Joe does next door, the wise old elf. He gives them a bit of a haircut. But I think we'll just put them in as they stand. So yeah, let's get cracking. Less talking, more cracking on. I talk too much. I should concentrate on the content, apparently. Okay, so I've just popped the plant out of its pot, and I put the pot into the hole that I've just dug with the trowel there. The pot's in the hole, and I've packed the soil again around that. And what I'll do then, now that's like a sort of impression that you've made into the soil with the actual pot that the plants come out of, so it should be a natural fit then to get it in. Just bear with us a second. There you go. It naturally fits into its own hole. Just sprinkle a bit more around the bases. And I'll crack on with that now and put them all in. Like I say, you just use that as like a sort of a mould, if you like. And in there you go. Now I'm going to carry on, get them all in, and then we'll start off then with the onions. Okay, it's a bit breezy. You can hear that. That's winds. That's a mixed wind turbine, the Spitfire one, giving it what for. So I'll just show you that little process there. We'll just get a little hole. With a trowel. Get the pot and push it in. There's a little bit more taking out of there actually. I'll use the old monkey paw. We can see that okay, and then that comes out, our little impression, our moulding, and then tip them up. But don't grab them, just put your hand over the pot, tip it up and let it naturally slide out. It does help if they're a little bit damp. You don't want them really wet though, because it'll just crumble and fall apart, but then you just carefully make sure I angle this right. Carefully get them into the hole that you've just made. Turn the soil around it. That's all you do. It's in then. Obviously we retain the pots. Careful with the pots because you could keep using them again and again. All we'll do is just knock out the soil, wait till it's fully dry, and then you can just wipe all the rest of the soil out and reuse the pot, which we're definitely going to be doing. We've had these pots now for 2 years, so you know, not only are you saving money, you're also saving the environment, aren't you? Okay. So we're going to carry on and we're going to completely fill that up, this central part, and then the onions are going to go around and form the allium fort. Okay. Catch you in a bit. Hello, back again. So yeah, we've planted them all in now, and we've given them the onion fort, 16 onions around them. So yeah, bit of companion planting. We'll see how it gets on. The smell of the alliums should deter certain fly, hopefully the black fly, and allow our broad beans to come on. Now the black fly tend to sort of congregate around where the flowers are coming out, and the flowers obviously then lead to your broad beans on the back end of it. There are controls that we're going to be using to sort of reduce the numbers of the black fly. We're going to do a sort of like garlicky, peppery, liquid soap spray to control them. But if we can deter them, that's the best way, and prevention's always better than cure. So we'll see how we get on. We're going to get black fly. There's no avoiding it. They're quite prolific as a pest, the black fly. But you've just got to control their numbers and keep them as low as you possibly can, and then you'll get the best results that you possibly can, won't you? You're giving the plants all the attention and the sort of assistance that we can possibly give them without resorting to more sort of commercial chemical means. We don't use shop bought pesticides, herbicides or insecticides. We try not to anyway. I'm going to be looking into getting some Namo slug, soil nematodes that interfere with the slugs and disrupt the reproductive cycles. And they do tend to work. Apparently they kill off the slugs in about 3 or 4 days once they're infected. Fingers crossed anyway. But yeah, we're going to be getting into that. So what we need to do now is, like Monty Don says, we give them a good drink. You've planted them in, you give them a good drink now. So we're going to water up this bed, and that's that little job done for today. All right, see you shortly. All right, there we go. They're all labelled up. I know that the onions are Stuttgarter, so I've got my fingers crossed for those. Might be a little bit close on some of the broad bean plants there, but we'll see how they get on. I mean, it's a deterrent really rather than a food crop, although we will get the onions out of it. Those ones at the front should be fine, but yeah, I'll keep an eye on it. Let's get them watered. 10 litres in that. Look at that one hand. I'll tell you what, the strength and the power that I possess is astonishing. Yeah, it gives it a good drink. It helps to seat the soil around the roots of the plants, so you're not getting too many air pockets, and you're not going to air prune your root system. Literally beds them in, doesn't it? The watering process. We are due a bit of rain actually in the next couple of days, but we'll let them get established, let them get settled in. Also helps to level out the ground as well, level out the growing medium. Okay. Now later on, I'm going to be putting a bit of a framework around that, potentially. Some wind breakage, because as they grow up, they'll grow to about this height. They'll grow to about 4 feet, the broad beans. The onion stems will be about 2 feet, but the broad beans will grow to about 4 feet, and so you want to keep a little bit of the wind off that. So I may well be putting some netting around them, but that's not for a few weeks yet. It doesn't need to be done for a few weeks yet. Just leave them as they are. Because of the wind load that you'll get onto the broad beans, it could knock them over, if you like, and snap the stems, and we don't want that, do we? So that's the idea. That's a cage there for the pulses, for the beans. So I'm going to be getting some more into there. But this bed, this entire bed, or series of 3 beds, is for the beans and the pulses. The peas are going to be going into there. And then the climbing French beans and dwarf French beans will be going into the end one there. But I've got to sort something out. I've got to get some trellis work sorted out, and some climbing frames for them. But yeah, that's us. It's alright, isn't it? Okay guys, I've been Guru Mafinda. You've been fantastic, beautiful and fragrant. As always, if you're a lady, you've been masculine, virile and forthright if you're a gentleman. I'm squinting into the sun here. Let me get up. This will be funny. Oh, you sat down for half an hour. Your bum goes numb and your back gets stiff, as do your knees when you're knocking 50. Knocking 50, me now. The tinker's wife was 65 yesterday. Happy birthday, tinker's wife, if you're watching. Right, I'll see you next time, and take care of yourselves and each other, and don't forget to keep growing with your heads down, and enjoy it, whatever you do in these pandemic times. Fingers crossed we're going to be coming out of it shortly, so yeah, let's all wish each other luck with that one. Alright, take care of yourselves, bye bye now. Alright, see you later.